There are some surprising business fields AI is disrupting,
including cow fields.
We keep hearing about white-collar jobs being disrupted and threatened by AI. But what about people in work overalls and bee suits? Turns out they are not completely safe either.
Because AI doesn't need to replace an entire job to make a meaningful change. It just needs to take one painful, time-consuming part of it. So here are 4 surprising businesses AI is already disrupting, from plumbing, wellness, bees and cows.
For example, Cow AI lets you take a picture of your meal and have an app estimate calories instead of typing everything in by hand. The founders, by the way both 18 and still in high school at the time, claimed the app reached 5 million downloads in 8 months. And the timing helped. Fitness and wellness were already booming, with the majority of US consumers claiming they prioritize wellness in their everyday lives. The clever bit is where it takes a bite out of the problem. People do not usually quit calorie tracking because they stop caring. They quit because logging every meal is tedious. Cow AI makes that friction easier to swallow by turning a manual habit into a quick photo.
Beekeepers cannot be everywhere all at once, even though they are busy bees. Beekeepers cannot be everywhere all at once, and in this business, late signals can really stink. If the colony is weakening, if the hive is losing weight too fast, or if there is something wrong with the internal conditions, the beekeeper often finds out only when they check manually. And by then, it may be too late. Beehub's system is trying to solve exactly that by acting like a constant set of eyes and ears on the hive, without the beekeeper needing to hover there all day. It collects information like weight, temperature, humidity and sound and sends it via mobile networks to the cloud, and uses it to spot swarm risk and other unusual patterns. So that is the honey here. Fewer surprises, early warnings and better shot at catching problems before they spread.
GROHE sells bathroom and kitchen fixtures all over the world and offers tens of thousands of product variants, which means that for a plumber in the field, identifying one exact tap can become a real drain on time. So instead of letting the whole process get clogged up in support, we built a mobile AI app that lets plumbers take a photo and identify the product directly. We trained that model on over 10,000 similar product variants, delivered it in 3 months, and it launched across 19 European markets. A very practical reminder that sometimes AI does not disrupt a whole profession, it just fixes one leak in the workflow.
Peter Thiel, not exactly famous for his agriculture interests, but his founders fund just let $220 million round into Halter at a $2 billion valuation. And that means that even cow fields are now attracting serious AI money. Halter makes smart collars and software that let farmers virtually fence, monitor and move cows, while also tracking them 24/7 for changes in health, behavior and heat, to improve mating results. So the cows now wear this fancy solar-powered wearable connected to this AI app that it's not just a fancy invisible fence. It is cow analytics, cow logistics, a bit of cow tinder and maybe, most importantly, cow behavioral management. Welcome to the fast era.
So what do all these have in common? It is not that AI suddenly learned how to be a plumber, a nutritionist, a beekeeper, or a cattle rancher. It is that AI got really good at one specific thing, looking at messy reality and turning it into something usable.
A photo into right product, a meal into useful numbers, a hive into early warnings, and a herd into something you can actually manage.
AI doesn't need to replace the whole profession. It just needs to squeeze one painful bottleneck, often the slow, boring part. The part people used to do manually because there was no better option.
Well, maybe nobody should feel too comfortable. We are AI Monstera, so let's look at gardening and plants. The kind of category that used to feel analog and safely offline. But even there, across garden design, plant care and plant recognition, hundreds of apps and startups are already competing in the space. Nothing is untouchable, no matter what business it grows from.